Good afternoon, everyone. So I am here again in my kitchen. I'm Renee, and I'm a registered dietitian in Vancouver, BC, Canada. We're going to be talking about some nutrition information and sharing some recipes with you from my kitchen today. And yeah, I'm very happy to do this with you. So thanks for staying tuned and watching me weeks on weeks. So there are, I believe, like 2 to 3 months worth of sessions from me done in my home, and I hope that you guys can go back to previous sessions and review some of the topics that we've been talking about, and they're all very, very important topics for your health and also for your benefits, to find some recipes that you can work on at home and have fun in the kitchen. So today's session will be on gout and nutrition. So last week we talked about arthritis, and there are so many things that you can eat and do for yourself to decrease your chances of getting arthritis and decrease your inflammation in your body. Same thing with gout. Gout is very common, and it's actually a form of inflammatory arthritis. So my name is Renee, and I'm a registered dietitian. I own a company called True Nosh, and you can reach me at info@truenosh.com if you have questions after this session. So why are we talking about gout? Well, it is a painful form of arthritis that occurs when levels of uric acid in your blood causes crystals to form and accumulate around your joint. You are, those who have arthritis and have inflammation in your body can have higher level forms of uric acid if it doesn't get excreted out of your body. Or you can also have a condition that causes high level in your blood. It forms when breakdown of compounds called purines. So purines is a form of protein in certain foods, and they go to the kidneys. So the uric acid from the purines go to the kidneys, and then it gets excreted in your body through your urine. But if the uric acid levels are too high, and crystals can form within your joints, and they cause swelling and inflammation and pain, and it causes some buildup under your skin, and eventually these buildups can be hard, and they're called tophi, okay? And it is one of the most common forms of arthritis, and it is really on the rise in the Western world. So there are risks and precautions. So sometimes, people are wondering, well, how much uric acid do you have in your body? Usually, if you go and get a blood test, people have under 6 milligrams per deciliter in your blood. And if you have under that amount, it helps reduce your chances of getting a gout attack. Some diets, such as the DASH diet, you may have heard me say about the DASH diet or talk about it, is mainly developed for people with high blood pressure, which focuses on lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of legumes, and low-fat dairy, and mostly whole foods like whole grains, and then also limiting your intake on sweetened drinks, salt, and red and processed meats. So this diet is actually very much correlated with lowering your risk for gout as well. So you can look up this diet, and we're going to talk about it also in a later session. And it has been shown that those who follow a Western diet, meaning a lot of red meats and processed meats, a lot of fried foods like fries, and refined grains like white rice and white pasta, and some have who have a sweet tooth have a higher risk of getting gout. There are a lot of factors that play a role in gout, but it's not only just your drink choices. Some medications like diuretics and aspirin, and sometimes having kidney disease and some hereditary hereditary diseases, as well as being men, you're a little bit more susceptible to gout. Managing your diet is super important to decrease your risk of a gout attack in this case, and in many cases as well. And you want to prevent the uric levels in your body, uric acid levels in your body to rise. Therefore, you don't want any crystals to form in your joints and cause any inflammation. So gout often occurs because someone has overweight or has obesity. And if you have high blood pressure, also can be a condition to increase your chances of gout. Also high cholesterol, people with type 2 diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, and a genitourinary disease, which is in the urinary and your reproductive tract. So if you want to decrease your chances of getting gout, talk to your physician or a registered dietitian help with your diet to see how we and other dietitians can help you alleviate these symptoms. So this is a slide where I go into more like an overall nutrition health for your joints. Eat a healthy, balanced diet. Everyone knows that eating more fruits and vegetables is better than eating more fried foods and more sweets, right? And a good rule of thumb is to eat a moderate amount of healthy foods. Healthy foods meaning you shop around the grocery store versus inside the grocery store in the aisles. And the aisles are really meant to help you with the things that you've purchased on the outer perimeter of the grocery store to increase the flavor profile of foods. So research has shown that anti-inflammatory foods can reduce your risk of gout. And these are best obtained when eating the different fruits and vegetables with a lot of different color, especially dark green vegetables as well. Eating foods with omega-3, such as fish, can reduce your risk of developing arthritis, which is gout is a form of arthritis. And then, you can supplement also with certain different vitamins, maybe vitamin C. Uric acid. The gout diet is to help, decrease the amount of uric acid in your body and help you excrete it naturally in your urine. But what really is at the forefront of uric acid is purine, right? So without purines, your body cannot break things down into uric acid. So purine is the form that in protein that causes high uric level acids in your body. So it's found in certain foods. But eating a diet low in purine isn't a cure. So some people still have gout attacks, but eating a low purine diet can slow the progression of joint damage. And people who follow a low purine diet or the gout diet can generally still need to take medication to manage your pain and lower your levels of uric acid. Some tips is to eat more fruits and vegetables and whole grains, which increase your complex carbs, and avoid simple carbs such as food and beverages with high corn syrup. So high fructose corn syrup is not too good for your body. Also things with a lot of sweeteners and baked goods with a lot of sugar in it also is not great. Fruit juices are also not that great either. Fats, cut back on the saturated fats. So some types of red meat and fatty poultry have high fat, and also try to decrease the amount of the high fat dairy products. Try to go with like the 2% or the 1%. And proteins, focus on lean meats and poultry and low fat dairy. And then lentils are a great source of protein. So lentils are not the only great source of protein. There are different pulses like beans, there's chickpeas in that similar family that you can play around with, right? So protein, all right. So some types of protein aren't as great as other types of proteins. So for gout, you want to really avoid organ meats or glandular meats. So try to avoid your livers, your kidneys, and sweetbreads. And they have high purine levels that contribute to high uric acid levels later on. Red meat, try to limit your serving sizes of beef and pork and lamb to about, the size of your inner palm each time you eat that type of meat. And if you have a flare-up, then you really want to avoid it completely. Seafood, some seafoods such as anchovies, shellfish, sardines, and tuna are higher in purines than others. But the overall benefits of eating fish, so some types of great fish like salmon or mackerel, those actually outweigh the risk of for people with gout. So moderate portions of fish can be a part of the gout diet. All right, and mainly because it is an anti-inflammatory food for their omega-3s. Fruits and vegetables. Well, some vegetables actually have high purine levels, but studies have shown that purines that are high in vegetables like asparagus and spinach don't actually increase the purines in your blood and actually don't have any effect of the risk of gout or reoccurring gout attacks. So vegetables are a safe food. But if you have a sweet tooth and you like to drink sugary beverages, you really want to limit or avoid the sugary foods and sweetened cereals, especially the cereals with a lot of different colors and cartoon characters in the front. Bakery goods, it really depends on which pastry item or which bakery item that you go and pick. There are some that are better than others, but it really depends on the amount of sugar that's in it. And candies, you really want to avoid candies with a lot of sweeteners and sugars in it. So try to limit your juices, especially things that are sweetened with fructose. And try to choose whole fruit instead of juice. And whole fruits have the skin and also has a little bit of protein in it to help you absorb sugar a lot slower and to help you feel satiated a little bit longer. And the fiber in the skin is really good for your bacteria in your gut. Cherries. There are some evidence that show cherries can be associated with reducing the risk of a gout attack. So it's still cherry season, the very end of the cherry season now, end of summer, and there are still some cherries around in farmers markets, so try to look for those really nice red juicy cherries, mainly because of the antioxidants, the really red anthocyanins that are in the cherries that really help reduce your inflammation. All right, so some beverages to consider. Alcohol, especially beer and distilled liquors, are associated with an increase of gout and reoccurring attacks. So you really want to moderate the consumption of alcohol. Wine doesn't really appear to increase your gout attacks, but it's moderate consumption, right? You don't want to go ahead and drink a whole half a bottle of wine or a whole bottle of wine at a time. Try to limit to one drink, or avoid alcohol during gout attacks and limit your alcohol intake, especially beer, in between attacks. Coffee. Some research has suggested that coffee in moderation, and especially regular caffeinated coffee, may be associated with reduced risk of gout. Interesting, isn't that? And then drinking coffee may be appropriate if you have may not be appropriate if you have other medications. Sorry, that not is important. So you really want to talk to your doctor or dietitian first before you go and drink massive amount of coffee, because it can cause other things such as insomnia and lowering your lean body mass too. And pregnant ladies especially do not want to increase your caffeine levels. Okay, so really you should really talk to a doctor or a registered dietitian before you start any new regimen. Okay. So vitamin C, it actually helps lower uric levels in your body. And when you're looking at supplements, whether a 500 milligram vitamin C supplement fits your diet plan, talk to your doctor or your registered dietitian. And you can always eat your vitamin C in whole fruits and vegetables, right? So berries are actually very high in vitamin C, and they have a lot of anthocyanins, which are anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. So there's a lot of different colors: strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries have so many different types of antioxidants that help you with your anti-inflammatory food intake. Seeds and nuts actually are also high in vitamin C, and as well as vitamin E and zinc too. So they keep your tissues strong, and choose from different things like walnuts and pistachios and sunflower seeds and almonds. Goals. So the goals of your gout diet, meaning a low purine diet, you want to really achieve a healthy weight with good eating habits. A healthy weight meaning 20-ish BMI, and you want to keep a lean body mass. And you really want to avoid some foods that are high in purines. We talked about some of that in a previous slide. You can always rewind this presentation. And then you want to include some foods that can control uric acid levels. So weight loss is a goal. If you are overweight, you really want to talk to a dietitian or your doctor about different types of weight loss regimens that you can find sustainable. If it's not sustainable, you really can't help yourself, okay? And you might bounce back and gain even more weight if it's not sustainable. But losing weight really helps lower the risk of gout. Research suggests that reducing the amount of calories can help you lose weight, but you don't really, if you are overweight and you don't even worry about the low purine diet, losing weight can actually help you reduce your uric levels, acid levels, as well as reduce the amount of gout attacks. All right, because it lessens the stress on your joints and the weight that's on your knees, especially, and on your toes. Losing a little bit of weight, if you are overweight or obese, can help you decrease the stress in those bones. Stay hydrated by drinking water. Always choose water first, and if you don't have access to clean water, try to find something that you could boil water with. And stay active, right? So exercise frequently. Many benefits obviously come with exercising, especially with decreasing gout risk, all right? And helps you lose weight if you need to, and helps you keep a healthy weight and prevent gout attacks. Exercise can help you effectively manage stress as well. So stress is a big factor of gout, and those who actually are more stressful in their lifestyles can actually have an increased amount of gout attacks, okay? So some supplements may have, boasted that they reduce arthritis, sometimes like the chondroitin and the glucosamine, right? But you really want to choose your supplements wisely, because they are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, because it doesn't fall under their umbrella. So that doesn't make it safe or effective. And many manufacturers list ingredients on the label that it's not even in the bottles. So you really want to be safe and try to find a way to see if that brand of supplement is legitimate. And you can go on the Natural Medicines Comprehensive Database, and they can help you confirm the safety and effectiveness of the drugs and supplements that you are considering. Physical activity, once again, super important with decreasing your inflammation, help you maintaining a healthy weight, and also help you maintain a lean body mass. And it's vital to keep your body fit and strong, as well as healthy. So we're not talking about like strenuous activities. So maybe take up some light jogging or speed walking, and even gardening. And that's something that you're doing to move your body and really helps you reduce the risk of gout. Muscle also can be built when you do regular exercises, and it can protect you against obesity. It can also protect and also promote insulin sensitivity, which is something that can decrease your chances of diabetes. and helps you improve circulation. So if your circulation is good, you can excrete the waste wonderfully in your urine. You can also help you drive the oxygen to get to your body wherever you need to increase your energy, right? Muscles are a very important role to prevent chronic diseases, especially as we age. Choosing your health. If you smoke, please consider quitting smoking. There is a lot of different people that can support you. You can go and ask your pharmacist. And, you know, smoking can have a lot of different negative impacts on circulation as well. So you really want to improve your circulation if you have high risk of getting gout. Physical activity, we said, that helps vasodilation, helps increase your blood flow. Keeping a healthy weight really helps taking off the stress off your joints. Following a healthy diet, so stocking up on, you know, whole foods such as vegetables and things that have healthy fats such as fish, and some that are really high in fiber, which are whole grains like brown rice and quinoa. They can also improve circulation. Staying hydrated, again, choosing water and things, you know, that are known to be hydrating and not diuretics, such as, you know, things that are high in caffeine and high in sugar. So you really want to avoid those high sugary drinks. And then reducing stress, okay? And we are living in a very stressful world now. So try to find something that can manage your stress either through meditation, finding a yoga class that you can join either online or in person. Gardening and spending time in nature really helps, as well as spending time with friends and family, you know, having a good laugh, watching a comedy. That's great too. So maintaining your health is not really coming down to just one pill or one type of food or one type of nutrient or one lab result that you're super, you know, tense about. And also it's not about one exercise. It's really about balancing your diet, you know, and also exercising your whole body versus just one part of your body, and mindful eating. So when you're looking for food in your pantry or in your refrigerator, ask yourself if you're really hungry or if you're just bored. An overall active lifestyle really makes the biggest difference to your health. And you want to be warned by me because products are really good at deceiving you. So something that can say low fat and healthy in the front, and when you look at the back and you're reading your labels, because I tell you to read your labels every week, they actually contain a lot of refined carbs and sugar and a lot of sodium. So the rule of thumb is to really look at the daily value of sodium and carbohydrates. Really try to go below 15% of your daily value per serving. And the more fiber in that processed food and packaged item, the better. What you can take to help yourself, or what you can do to help yourself, and steps you can take to help yourself, is to prevent the disease from happening before it happens, so you don't have to go through a lot of heartache and a lot of financial issues, right? And if you have a disease, you really don't want to let that hinder your lifestyle and your happiness. So some things you can go and do some of your own research is HealthLink BC is a really great resource for that. You can call 811 and they can put you through to a physician or a registered dietitian. And if you visit bcdietitians.ca, we can also help you out with your nutritional concerns, and we can match you up with a registered dietitian in British Columbia. All right, so that is my share today, and we're back in our kitchen, and we're going to do a really easy recipe that I'm going to share with you. So I've done a lot of shopping in the farmers market lately. I'm just going to move the table over here so you can see everything that I'm doing. I bought this gigantic zucchini, and it is zucchini season now, so you can go and visit your local farmers market and buy some really amazing, beautiful vegetables like the zucchini. And actually, this one is a gift from my friend Amy. And she's really, really awesome. And we're going to be at the Richmond Farmers Market this afternoon from 12 to 4 across the street from the Richmond City Hall. So come and say hi to us. I'm going to cook with this zucchini today. We're going to make zucchini steaks, and we're going to make a sauce out of this. And then I have some purple beans. These are super purple, if you can see. Right here, yeah, super purple beans, and I'm kind of cut a few to give my sauce a little crunch, okay? And these are super yum. And then I also have a carrot that I'm going to chop up, as well as some onions. And I have a homemade tandoori spice right here. You can use any spice mix that you love. And I love tandoori spice, and you can actually just buy pre-bought tandoori spice, which is full of paprika, it's got cinnamon, and there's got cumin inside, and it smells so good, and also garlic. All right, we have some salt and pepper here for seasoning, and I have 2 eggs for protein. Okay, so what I want to do first is to cut my zucchini into a few slices. So I'm going to use about 1 cup of zucchini for my sauce. So I'm going to blend it up, and that's going to help my sauce thicken. And what I'm going to do is cut my zucchini in smaller pieces so that my blender can have an easier time to make the sauces. Into a liquid. Okay, so that's about a cup of zucchini, and then the rest I'm going to cut into small steaks, zucchini steaks. So last week we did some beet steaks, so this time we're going to do some nice zucchini steaks, and they're just thicker slices of zucchini that I'm going to season with some salt and pepper. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to put that zucchini down, and what I have here is a pan, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil on my pan. That's about a tablespoon, and I'm using grapeseed oil today. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick the zucchini directly on the pan. It doesn't have to be piping hot. This pan is great, and it doesn't really stick. So the zucchini also has a lot of liquid in it. So you're just going to put the zucchini in the pan, and it's going to sizzle. And then while I do that, I'm going to prepare my sauce. So what I have here is I'm going to cut a little bit of onion. I just need a half of an onion for this whole recipe. Okay. I like buying smaller onions, so I don't feel like I have to keep cutting off smaller pieces of the onion, and it actually makes me cry less when I cut the onion. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the onion again in a quarter, and then the rest goes into the sauce. So with the zucchini. And then later on, I'm just going to dice the other onion to a bit smaller dice. And then we're going to saute it in a different pan, which I have in the back here. Again, with a little bit of oil. I'll also bring you guys closer to my stove once I have everything going. So the onion goes into the back. And we're gonna hear them all sizzle at the same time. And then what I wanna do with the beans is to cut the ends off. So there's some that have really, really rough ends, and you wanna kind of peel them off a little bit. And then after you peel off the rough ends, then you can chop them into small pieces. And unfortunately, with these purple beans, once you cook them, they lose their purple color. So you don't have to cook them too much. They're really just for the crunch, right? So what you want to do is kind of put them on a little bit at the end for the sauce to have a little bit of a crunch. I'm also crying because of the onion a little bit. But I'm not crying as much as when I'm cutting a big onion. Okay, so I cut these purple beans into the small or medium dice, and then I want to go and chop up a little bit of carrot. So I'm just going to do half of this carrot because it's a big carrot. Again, the carrot is for mainly the crunch, so I'm going to cut them also with the same dice as the beans, just like a small dice. So the sauce will have a lot of colorful bits in it, and it just doesn't look like a big mush of blended vegetables, right? I can hear the zucchini sizzling. So what I want to do, I'm going to get a spoon, and I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of tandoori spice into my zucchini, and then I'm going to fill the blender with about a cup of water. Okay, a cup of water, and then we're going to put a little bit of spice in here. So we already have some tandoori spice, but I'm going to put some extra salt and some extra pepper. So about half a teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And then what I'm going to do is to blend the zucchini. So you don't have to just use water. You can use some chicken stock or some veggie stock, whatever you like. Okay, and that is our base for our sauce. And now I'm going to bring you closer to my stove so you can see everything that's happening when we're cooking. Okay, so I hope you guys can see my stove here. So the zucchini steaks are going, as well as the onions. And the onions are browning already. And I just want them to get a nice brown and translucent color. And what I'm going to do, this is the zucchini sauce with the tandoori spice and the water, is I put it in the back and it's sizzling. I'm going to turn the heat to the back to low. And I'm going to allow the zucchini to cook with the onions. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the zucchini steaks, and they're also almost done as well. So this is a really easy meal. Okay, and I'm actually going to serve the zucchini
in the sauce, and we're gonna actually make some really nice baked eggs, okay? So with the zucchini almost done cooking, I'm gonna get a little bit of space for the inside of my pan for the sauteing of the beans and the carrots. Okay, so there's a little bit of space in the middle. I'm going to slide all the carrots in here. Isn't that beautiful? And for the sauce, you do want to use a nice pan because we're going to serve the zucchini, and after we saute the beautiful beans and the carrots in, and then you can see the sauce is boiling, which is great. So let me see how thick it is. It's good. And what we're essentially doing is a modern twist of a shakshuka, which is a breakfast brunch dish from Israel. And we're gonna put in 2 eggs in the middle of the shakshuka and allow it to cook. So I'm gonna find a good space for that here. And then what I'm gonna do is to crack 2 eggs in the pot, or in the cast iron pan. Okay, you can always put this in the oven, but if your oven's not turned on, you can allow it to simmer. So I'm just going to turn the back on a simmer, and you can allow the sauce to cook the eggs. And once the zucchini is done, we're going to turn it around again. Look how beautiful the zucchini is. And we're going to use the zucchini as a garnish for our pan. Okay, so you can see the eggs are also being cooked in the pan. That's great. And then as you can see, as the beans cook, they turn green. I'm going to turn the heat off of this vegetable pan. And then I'm going to put the zucchini around the cast iron pan. And this is going to be a perfect brunch or breakfast meal. You can, toast some whole wheat bread, and you can dip that into the sauce, or you can use the sauce as a pasta sauce also. Great. So that was a beautiful way of cooking zucchini steaks. And then now our carrots are going to be done very, very soon as well. And then we're going to put it on top of this sauce like a garnish, okay? So I'm just gonna wait till the eggs cook to about a medium. And then I'm going to sprinkle the carrots and the beans all over. And you can also grate a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top if you like cheese. But I like to sprinkle some crunchy flax seeds on top to add to my beautiful pan here. And this is just going to give this dish a really nice crunch. There you go. And turn it to low to a simmer while I go get my flax seeds for a nice sprinkle. I can smell the beautiful aroma of the tandoori spice. Turning the back off. Right now you can see the eggs being done cooking. And then I'm going to turn it off right now because the residual heat is going to finish cooking the eggs. Okay, you don't really have to worry about that too much. And then you want to let it rest about 5 minutes before you serve this. And in the next minute, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of toasted flax seeds, or if you have sesame seeds, or you want to do some grated cheese, that's great also. All right. And I like spice, so I'm just going to dash a little bit of paprika on top, just to give a nice red color. And there you go. There's your lunch, brunch, or breakfast, or even you can eat dinner. So I hope you guys enjoyed my session today on gout, and I hope you guys join me next week for another session about nutrition, food, and health. Thank you.